All right, so today we're going to be covering parallel lines in algebra. So we're still working with parallel lines and transversals, but now we're going to include some algebra in here. Okay, so it says review, use a diagram to identify the following pairs of angles. So the first type of angles that we have are called corresponding angles, and that means that they have the same position. So for example, angle 5 is on the left of our transversal and on top of the parallel line. And so 2 is to the left of the transversal, but above the line Q. Okay, so angle 2 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. Okay, and then those are not the only ones. 6 corresponds to 4. So here I'm going to put angle 6. Sorry, it's not writing. Angle 6 and angle 4. And then we look at the next one. Angle 1 and angle 7 are corresponding angles. Angle 1 and angle 7. And then last is going to be angle 3 with angle 8. So angle 3 and angle 8. Okay, now alternate interior angles. So remember, interior angles is inside your parallel line. So this is considered the interior. Okay, and so your angles that are inside are 1, 3, 2, and 4. So 1 and 4 would be considered alternate interior angles because they're inside the parallel lines, but alternate sides of the transversal. So angle 1 and angle 4. And then angle 2 is alternate to angle 3. So those are called alternate interior angles. Okay. Alternate exterior angles. So if it's not talking about the inside angles, it is talking about the exterior angles. These ones are exterior, outside the parallel lines. Okay. And then alternate means alternate sides. So 5 and 8 are on alternate sides of the transversal. So angle 5 and angle 8. And angle 7 and angle 6 are also alternate exterior angles. Okay. And then the last is same side interior. So this is inside. Okay. And the ones that are on the same side, so 1 and 2 are considered same side interior. So angle 1 and angle 2. And angle 3 and angle 4. And so remember, same side interior angles are supplementary, which means that they add up to 180 degrees. Supplementary. Okay, and all the rest of them are congruent. So corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, all of these are congruent. Okay, that's the sign for congruent, which means they're equal. Okay, so it says complete the following statement. So angle 5 is congruent to, we need to put all the angles that are congruent to angle 5. So let me go ahead and erase here what I have. And so angle 5 is our obtuse angle. So all of our obtuse angles are going to be equal. So all of these are the obtuse angles. So 5, 3, 2, and 8. And your acute angles, these ones right here are 6, 1, 7, and 4. 6, 1, 7, and 4. All of these are congruent. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the actual geometry here. So it says it says if the measure of angle 4, I guess it's still referring to the same problem. If the measure of angle 4 is 72, then, so if we look, we said 4 was the same as 1, 7, and 6. So we're going to go ahead and put 1 is 72 degrees, 7, 72 degrees, and 6, 72 degrees. And now remember, if they're not the same, then they're supplementary, meaning they add up to 180. So to find the other angle, we're going to do 180 minus 72. and that gives us 108. So that means all the other angles are 108 degrees. Okay. So next it says, in each of the figures below, R is parallel to S. Find the value of X. Okay. So if we look at these two angles are considered to be corresponding angles. And we know that corresponding angles are congruent. Okay. So first you need to figure out, are these angles congruent or are they supplementary? Okay. So now that we established that they're congruent, if you're still not sure, you can also look at your angles and see this is an acute angle, this is an acute angle. All your acute angles are going to be congruent. So since they are equal, we're going to set both of these things equal to each other. So 6x plus 8 equals 3x plus 38. And we start solving for x. So we subtract the 3x. 6x minus 3x gives us 3x plus 8 equals 38. Oh, it's not ready. And then our next step is to subtract the 8. And we get 3x equals 30. And then we divide by 3. I'm going into the other problem. And we get x equals 10. And then this one is just asking us to solve for x, find the value of x. So we don't need to do anything else after that, okay? If they do ask us to go back and plug it in or to find one of the angles, you do need to go back and plug it in. But all they're asking us for here is x. Okay, this next one, they kind of flipped over the parallel lines, and our parallel lines are facing up, okay? But you still have the same properties. So these two angles that they give us happen to be inside of the parallel lines. They're both inside the parallel lines. So these are going to be considered interior angles. And since they're on opposite sides of the transversal, these are alternate interior angles. So once you establish what kind of angles they are, you need to figure out, are they congruent or are they supplementary? So in this case, they're going to be congruent. So since they're congruent, let me erase this. We're going to set these two equal to each other. So 3x minus 50 equals 2x minus 5. And we start solving for x first by subtracting the 2x. We get x minus 50 equals negative 5. We add the 50. And we get x equals 45 degrees. And that would be our answer. All right, the next one here we have 3x plus 20 and 5x minus 8. So these ones are inside the interior angle, inside the parallel lines, but they are on the same side. So these are considered same side interior or consecutive angles. So when this happens, you need to figure out, are they the same or are they supplementary? So these are called same. I don't know why I just want to write same side interior. Okay, and these are considered supplementary, meaning they add up to 180. Supplementary. Okay, if you're not sure, look, this is your obtuse angles. This one, this one, this one, and this one, and then these are acute angles. Acute, 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 and acute. So when they give you an opposite and an acute angle, they give us, an obtuse and an acute angle, they are not the same, they are supplementary. So that tells you we're going to set up the problem a little bit different. So we're going to set it up 5x minus 8 plus 3x. I'm going to have to erase this because I can't see the number. 3x plus 20. Plus 20, and we set it equal to 180. Okay, so when the angles are not the same, they are supplementary. So we start off by combining like terms first. 5x and 3x gives us 8x. Negative 8 and positive 20 gives us positive 12 equals 180. We move over the 12, and we get 8x equals 168. And then we divide by 8 and we get x equals 21. And that's it. So moving on to the next problem here. We still have two angles. These ones, they're on the exterior this time. Okay, so this is on the outside of the parallel line. This is on the outside of the parallel line, and they're actually on alternate sides. So this is considered an alternate exterior angle. And these two are congruent. So that means when we set up our equation, we set them up equal to each other. So 12x minus 9 equals 9x minus 4. Okay, you can also tell they're congruent because these are your acute angles. This one's acute, this one's acute, this one's acute, and this one's acute. So when you have two acute angles, they should be equal. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and solve for x. We subtract the 9x. We get 3x minus 9 equals negative 4. We add the 9. We get, oh, it's minus 19. Sorry. 9, so we add 19. Sorry. And we get 3x negative 4 plus 19 is going to give us 15. We divide by 3 and we get x equals 5. Sorry, I ran out of space. And that's it. Okay, the next one says find the values of x and y in the figure below. So this time we have two pairs of parallel angles. So you have these two that are up this way. And then you have these two that are going around this way. Okay, so you have two sets of parallel lines. Okay, so all we have is interior angles right now. And so these two are considered same side interior, which means they're going to be supplementary. They're going to add up to 180. These two also are considered same side interior, and these are also going to add up to 180. So what we're going to do when we set this up is we're going to add 9x plus 37 plus a 6x plus 8 because they both have x's, okay? We can't add these two together, or we can't set them equal to each other because this one has a y and that one has an x. So the same with this one, okay? So we need to match up both of the y's. So let me undo that. So setting up the first one, we have 9x plus 37 plus 6x plus 8 should equal 180. And so 9 plus 6 gives us 15x. 37 plus 8 gives us 45 equals 180. And we move over the 45 to the other side. And we get 15x equals 180 minus 45 is going to give us 135. Okay, so then next we're going to go ahead and divide by 15. And so we are going to get x equals 9, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so we already found x. Now we need to find y. So there's several ways we can do this. I'm just going to do it the exact same way that we found the x's. I'm going to find the y's the same way. So because these are same side interior, that means that they are supplementary. So 6y minus 4 plus 10y plus 8. Oh, let me move it over. Equals 180. Then we simplify. 6y plus 10y is 16y. Negative 4 plus 8 gives us a positive 4 equals 180. And we go ahead and subtract the 4. This cancels and we get 16y equals 180 minus 4 gives us 176. Oh, it's one. And then our last step to solve for y is to divide by 16, and we get y equals 11. And that's it. So the last example here we have the measure of angle 2 is 6y plus 5. So we're going to go ahead and fill this in our little table. So the measure of angle 2 is 6y plus 5. So I'm going to write it in here. 6y plus 5. Okay, then we have the measure of angle 3. The measure of angle 3 is 5x minus 16. So 5, x minus 16. And then they have the measure of angle 4 first is 97. So here's 4. 4 is going to be 97 degrees. And then we have the measure of angle 5. So measure of angle 5 is 12z minus 1. So 12z minus 1. And then we have the measure of angle 6 is 3x. Okay, so they want us to find the values of x, y, and z, and then they want us to find the measure of all the indicated angles. Okay, so looking here at the information that's given, they do give us that this angle right here is 97 degrees, which is a measure of angle 4. And then they also give us, if we notice these two right here, the 5x minus 16, and then this 3x. So since they both have an x in common, that's where we're going to start. That's where we're going to set up our equation, okay? Because the other one is z and y, and if we're trying to solve for a variable, we can't have two different variables. We have to stick to the same one. So by angle 3 and angle 6, these are going to be congruent because they're considered alternate interior angles because they're on alternate sides of the transversal, but they are in the inside. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my work here. Since they're alternate interior angles, that means that they are the same. They are equal. So I'm going to go ahead and move over the 5x. And so we get negative 16 equals negative 2x. Okay, and then from there, to solve for x, we're going to divide by negative 2. And negative 16 divided by negative 2 gives us 8. So 8 equals x. Okay, so there's one of our solutions. Now, in order for us to figure out what these angles are, now that we know what x is, we just plug it in. So 3 times 8 gives us 24. And then 5x minus 16. So 5 times 8 is 40 minus 16 is also 24. So they should be the same number. If we don't get the same number when we plug it in, that means we did something wrong. Okay, so now looking at these next two angles, if you notice, these two are considered same side interior angles, okay? Not just the 5 and the 6 together. So since they are on same side interior angles, that means that these two need to add up to 180. So the way I'm going to figure out what the other section is going to be is I'm going to do 180 minus the 97. And that gives me 83. Okay, so that means that these two angles put together need to add up to 83. But we already know that 6, this little section right here, is 24. So if we do 83 minus 24, borrow 1, this gives us 9, 59. So that means that this is equal to 59 degrees. And then this one is also equal to 59 degrees. Okay, because they're alternate interior angles. So they're both going to be equal. They're going to be the same number. Now we're still going to have to solve for z and for y, but I want to get angle 1 real quick. So since these two, since these two add up to 83, that means that angle 5 and 6 is same side interior with angle 1. So that means it has to be 97, so they add up to 180. Okay. So we have that angle set. Now we're just going to solve for z and for y. So starting with z, we have 12z minus 1 equals 59. We add the 1. We get 12z equals 60. We divide by 12, and we get z equals 5. Okay. Now let's go ahead and solve for y. So we know 6y plus 5 is equal to our angle 2, which is equal to 59 degrees. We subtract 5 first, and we get 6y equals 54. Then we go ahead and divide by 6, and we get y equals 9. So now we're going to go ahead and just fill in our answers right here on this side. They want us to figure out x is 8, z is 5, we said y is 9, the measure of angle 1 is 97, the measure of angle 2 is 59, and so is the measure of angle 5. Angle 5 is 59. And then last, the measure of angle 3 is 24, and so is the measure of angle 6. And that's it. Thank you guys. Bye.